Suppose there is a requirement in your project, like you have to deploy an applications, or you have to deploy a Java application specifically to one of the Linux server. Simple. I'm just singly giving only one Linux server, and it could be multiple servers also, right? So for that, how and what would be the approach, and how you have to set up from the scratch, right? So let's write it down. The requirement is deploy a Java applications, right? Deploy a Java applications into Tomcat server, right? And Tomcat server with Linux machines, Linux machine. Okay, Linux machine, right? So this is the requirement. Deploy a Java application. So for that, what we need, we have to write the playbook, right? So to deploy a Java applications, what do we need? We need, first we have to write down the prerequisites, right? To deploy the applications. So first, what we need to install the Java, right? Java software. As this application is a Java application, we need the Java to be installed first. Okay, install Java first. Okay, then second, what we need, download the Tomcat package and install it. So first, what we have to do, we have to download the Tomcat package, right? Tomcat server, and then install it. After that, what we have to do, we can create some Tomcat group to make sure that Tomcat can run easily, right? Tomcat group, we have to create a Tomcat group and create one Tomcat user, and then what we have to do, whatever the package, right, we have downloaded, what we have to do, this will come as a tar file. Extract the tar file, right? Then what we have to do to run this, what we need, we have to create a symbolic link, or create a symbolic link, a symlink to run our service. Okay, and then at last, what we can do, we can start the, okay, before starting the Tomcat server, what we can do, 7, the most important thing is deploy the Java application. Deploy the Java applications. And how we'll do the deploy? We have to simply, what we have to do? Copy it, right? Copy the Java package, Java app binary, right? Java app application binary file into the Tomcat server, So this is what we have to do. 7th, deploy the Java app. What will deploy? Copy the Java app binary file into the Tomcat server. After we copy it, the final stage, what we can do, start Tomcat server. Start Tomcat server. So these are the tasks. How many tasks? 8 tasks. These are the tasks we are going to now write it. What I just explained to you, right? These are the tasks we are going to write. The first is to install the Java software, right? Because this application is built in Java, so we need the Java software to be installed. So you know very well, right? What are the packages you have to use, module you have to use? Okay. So what is the module you have to use? This Ansible.builtin.yum, right? So we have to use yum module. So based on the inventory, like the node, the server you are using, the type of server, you have to choose the package. So here we are going to use the module as yum. This is the package manager for Amazon Linux, right? And what package you are going to install for Java? So you have to identify, right, what are the packages available for the Linux machines, right? Amazon Linux 23 machines. Connect to the node machines, and here we can execute yum list. Okay, yum list. Let's see. I just used yum list, right? See, these are the packages available. So I need what package? Java packages, right? So if I just search for Java, let's grep filter out, right? You know the grep command to use to filter. See, these are the Java packages. These many Java packages. Okay. See, these many. Okay. But I need suppose Java 17, right? Java 17. Again, let's filter out more on this. So I'm showing you how we can use the Linux commands, right? To find out this. This is a very, very important commands, right? And you should remember all this and you should know how to use it. So what I'm going to double filter it. So I used grep Java to filter once, and then on top of that, I'm going to filter again grep. So I need suppose 17. I need suppose 17 Java 17, right? Enter. Invalid option, sorry. We should not give hyphen here. See, we got the 17 here. These are the Java 17 packages. So you have to use the appropriate package, which package you need to install Java package, right? Suppose I need this particular Java package to be installed. That's what I have written it here, right? Java 17, I mentioned correctly. So this is where you have to find out the packages. This is related to Java package only. You can find it out more in Google if you're not able to find it out, don't know how to get it. So you can just Google it and find it out, the Ansible packages, right, for that particular software. Got it? So name this Java and state present perfect. The installations will be done here. And the next one is to create a group. Either you can use to download download the Tomcat, or you can just create group user and then you can download. That's okay, right? So here to create group, so we can use the group module here and just name Tomcat. Simple, right? Group name Tomcat. It will just create a group. This is nothing but the Linux group, and we know very well what is user and group, right? So it is going to create one group and one user. For group, we are using the group, and here we are going to create user. We are going to create user module and name as Tomcat, and this name, right? This user I'm going to add into Tomcat group. That's why we first created Tomcat group and then created the user, and that user I added into the Tomcat group. Okay. So, and then the directory home, users home directory, right? this Tomcat's home directory I created as user share Tomcat. So you remember in Linux, right? Whenever we create any user, so what happened? It create home directory for that user, right? Similarly, what I did, I set up the home directory as user share Tomcat, right? So create home means automatically it will not create the home directory, but whatever the home directory I have set up, it will set it as the home directory. Got it? Become true and method sudo. This as a root it will create. Perfect. Now, next task is to download the Tomcat server application, right? So what I have used it here, we have used it here, get underscore URL. So you can use here directly Ansible dot built in get URL, or you can directly give get underscore URL itself. So here, get URL, what do you have to do? We have to, suppose if I go to Ansible, all modules, okay, and how to use these module sections, right? There are more than thousands of modules available, right? So it will be not so easy, right, to remember everything. So what do you have to do? You have to follow the documentations. Suppose I want to get more details on the get URL. So what I can search the get URL module. So what it does, it downloads files from HTTP, HTTPS, or FTP to the node machine, right? So if I go inside this get underscore URL, and you can see these are the parameters we can use. So what are the parameters? Check some client underscore search, destinations, force, right? Group, mode, which mode, while downloading the permissions, right? The mode we can just set it off. Owner, who will be the owner of that, right? And the source, this URL, right? URL password, URL username. Suppose when we are setting up the URL, the private URL, right? Where we need to provide the username and password to get the file, to download the file. So you can use URL password. And so here in our case, as we are getting these things from the public real CDN, right? Public CDN content delivery. So this content, I'm going to get it from the public Apache server, right? Tomcat is one of the Apache application. Got it? So I'm using get URL. So this is one of the parameter URL. So we have to specify which URL you have to use. Now, here I have used this particular Tomcat applications, right? How you will get this particular Tomcat package? So as for the requirement, here, whatever we just wrote, right? We need to understand in this requirement, we have to little modify now to understand what version of Java you need. 17 version. And for Tomcat, which version of Tomcat we need to download, right? Which version of Tomcat we need to download. Now we have to find the version, this particular version. Suppose I need 9.0.1 or something, this particular version. Then how will get this particular link, right? So for Tomcat, if I go here to the internet and search it here, Google, and I'll just mention download Tomcat. Okay. So go to this tomcat.apache.org. Okay. So this is their official website of the Apache Tomcat. Remember, this is the publicly I'm downloading and using it for the demo. But if you are using or downloading something like in your project, make sure that you download the approved versions, approved package by your company. Your company will have different CDN, right, or different repository to store the packages, Tomcat packages, and you have to get it from there, right? Similarly, I'm just using this particular URL to get it. So if I go here and this particular, suppose tar.gz, right? tar is the extract. This one is the compressed file. So all the packages have been compressed it here, right? The applications. So I can just copy link address tar.gz, right? I just copied the link address, right? This link. And then what you have to do, we can just go ahead and paste it here. Go ahead and paste it here. Simply. So this is the particular 90.6, whatever 9.0.15. Similarly, if you need some older version, right, you can find it out which particular versions you need. This is the latest versions of the Apache Tomcat. So I just got it 9.0. And URL, one of the parameter, and the next parameter we are going to use as destinations. All right. So where you want to copy it. So when download, you have to put it somewhere, right? So destination path, I used it to OPT. So in the OPT directory, I'll just put this one. Okay. This is a very simple one. Download is complete. So after we download this tar file, right, compressed file, we have to extract it. Like zip, we have to unzip it, right? Similarly, tar file, we have to untar it, right? We have to extract it. For that, the module. This is another module called command, right? So here I have used the parameters. So you know how to use this command module. Simply you can go to the, if I search here, command module. Oops, there are lots of commands are there. Okay. Okay, fine. Here is that command module. Execute commands on the target. So if we see here, the command module, this command module is being used to execute some commands in the target machine, in the node machine, right? So here you can go inside this command machine and find it out the parameters, right? These are the parameters. Change ch directory to change into this directory before running the command. So what it is doing now, changing the directory before executing the command. So this is the bin tar. So tar is the Linux command to extract this particular file, right? So what I'm doing here, first changing the directory user share and then executing this file, right? What is the file? Which one we downloaded? You can see we download to OPT, this file name, right? Similar path I just gave it. Extract by using the tar, I'm extracting this compressed file, right? So after extracting, where you want to keep it? In the OPT. So I'm just creating it and extracting everything into the OPT directory, right? So that's done, extracted. So after it got extracted, so what do we have to do? We have to create a symbolink link. Make sure to create a symbolink link to the user's home directory. So user's home directory, we have given the path as user share Tomcat, right? This here we had created the user's home directory, right? Here user share Tomcat, we had added it. So there we are going to keep it. So file, source file. So you know very well, right? How to create a symbolink link in Linux. How we create it? By using ln command. So you can find it by using ln command. We can use the symbolink link. Similarly, we can just create the source. And here we are using the file command. Here we are using the file command. So if we go to the file command here, we'll find, okay, file command. So what is this? It just manages files and file properties. So if I go inside this, I'll find lots of parameters are there. And based on that, we need this parameter. So file, so what are the source, right? If I go here, see, we'll have this src, path of the file. So which file you need to create, and the path, we have to set up the path, and state, what type of link you want to create. State, just what you have to do, state is link. So I'm going to link it. If I just give it delete, this is very important. The state, if I go to the state, see, absent means what it will do, it will delete that file. If absent, directories will be recursively deleted. make sure you don't give this absent. If you're not sure about the parameter and the choices, you have to follow these documentations. If you give absent, it will state absent. It will delete the files and directories. So if directories, then it will create the subdirectory. File without any other options works most as the status it will give. Hard link. If you're giving link, it will give the soft link. So all the things, right? It is mentioned it here. Create a symbolic link. Right? So state I have given it here as link. Okay. So we created the symbolic link. Now, what we are doing again using the file command to change the ownership of the Tomcat installation. So we downloaded the Tomcat and then we installed it. So when we keep this Tomcat and create a symbolic link, it creates an installations, right? It's done. One type of installations, we did it. After installation, what we are going to do in the ownership of the Tomcat installations. What is the ownership? If I go again to the file, right? Here you can find the owner. See, name of the owner that should own the file. And for that ownership, what we had done, we had created already the user at Tomcat. That's why we first created the Tomcat user. So when we downloaded and when we copied and installed everything, we are going to change this ownership as Tomcat so that when we run the Tomcat server, it will not create any problem of permissions issues, right? So we got it, Tomcat ownerships and all state. Okay, group, what we gave as Tomcat state directory, right? Recurse, yes, fine. After that, after we change the recursively, it will change the ownership of the this particular path. Okay, now, okay, everything, all installations is done, right? After that, what we have to do, we need to deploy the Java applications, right? So these Java applications actually is kept in one of the, see here where what I'm going to do, I'm going to again use the get underscore URL. So here the path, whatever I have given, actually I have given this var file location where this var file is available. If the var file is available in your system, then you can use copy module to copy the var file to the user share Tomcat folder, right? Destinations. But here what I'm using, download the var file, means the Java applications. So we know very well, right? When we build a Java web applications, it will create a .var file, right? So that var file we need to copy to the Tomcat server, right? So here what I'm going to do, I'm using, because my DevOps web.var actually kept in this particular location. Okay, in this particular location. Actually, this is one of my Jenkins location where this DevOps web.var is there. Similarly, if in your case, in your companies, right, if it is kept in, suppose in Nexus repository or GitHub repository or somewhere, normally GitHub, we don't keep the binaries. Okay, if kept in somewhere location, any other server, so you can get that address, server address, and put it here, right? The URL, not server address, get the URL, file URL, and put it here, right? So, and then destinations where we want to download it. So destination, what I used, user share Tomcat. This is the Tomcat's directory. Under Tomcat, you have to keep it in the web apps folder. And this file name is DevOps web.var. Got it, right? And then after we download this file, then what we can do, we can start the Tomcat server. In the Tomcat server, I'll just explain you, don't worry again. So in this Tomcat server, we have this, in the bin directory, we'll have a startup.sh. What is the startup dot? This is a script which will start the Tomcat server. Which will start the Tomcat server. Okay. So now what we can do, we can just copy all these whatever tasks or the playbook, everything, right? We have written. Now let's go to the Ansible server. Okay. So what we can do, I'll just create a file called vi app deploy underscore tomcat dot YAML. Okay, something, some name you just give it there, dot YAML file. Perfect. So now let's copy whatever we just wrote it. Perfect. Same thing, I'm just copying. So make sure you use the web server is the group which we have given in the inventory. So, right, all these things we just copy it. Now let's save it and we are ready to execute it. Okay. So what I'll do, use Ansible hyphen playbook. Now app deploy underscore tomcat.yaml. Let's hit enter. Perfect. So it first installing the Java. Okay. Let's see. It will take some time to install all the packages. Just hold on for some time. Perfect. So it's completed. So what it did, the number of tasks we have written, right? Installing Java, then it created the group, created a user, downloaded the Tomcat, extracted the archive, whatever extracted, created the symbolic link, changed the ownership, and download the WAR file and it placed into the web app folder. Right? After that, it started the Tomcat server. Okay. So here you can see changed 9. So we can count how many tasks we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? 8, 9. So 9 tasks changed, all 9. That means everything, all tasks executed successfully. Right? So now we can just go to the node machine here and check whether this package is web app, whatever we got it, the WAR file, right? Whether it is downloaded or not, whether the Tomcat is installed or not, right? So what we can do, we can go to the Tomcat. So where it is user share, right? And yes, Tomcat folder is there, right? And if I just check it here, let see the Tomcat actually downloaded and extracted all the files here. Okay, now what we can do, let's go to this web apps folder, right? If I go to cd web apps folder, sorry, it says permissions denied. So what it says, user, you remember we had created group user created as Tomcat and created as group also Tomcat. Okay, so let me log in as change myself to super user. So I can just go inside this now. Okay, so cd user share Tomcat, right? Web apps. If I check it here, so web apps. Let's go to the web apps folder now, right? See, in web apps folder, we have this DevOps web.war downloaded. So once it is downloaded, right? When we start the Tomcat server, what it will do, it will extract this WAR file and create the application. This is actual the application, DevOps web. Now, this is the actual application. Okay, DevOps web. Okay, now if we verify whether the Tomcat is running or not, so we can execute one of the Linux command, ps-ef, right, to check the processes. It is running as a process, right? Processes. ps-f grep Tomcat. Okay, so we can find this Tomcat running. This is the Tomcat running, and it is running as super user root, right? This is the Tomcat now running. Got it. Let's go ahead and check whether we can access the application or not. Whether we can access the application or not. So how we'll access the Tomcat server? Get the public IP of the machine where Tomcat is installed, right? Just paste it here. So what is the default port of Tomcat? Remember, the default port of Tomcat is 8080. Unlike Jenkins, the Tomcat port also 8080. Default port. Okay. And make sure this 8080 is whitelisted in your node machine. Otherwise, Tomcat server will not run. Right? We cannot access it. Right? If it is running also, we cannot access the Tomcat server. We should whitelist the port 8080. After you do that, if I hit enter, see this Tomcat, Apache Tomcat is running. Perfect. Now what we can do? So this is the Tomcat server, but how I'll access the applications? So what is the name of the applications? If I go there, what is the name of the applications? The name of the applications is DevOps Wave, right? So if I just give here class and DevOps Wave, see DevOps class, so we can able to access the applications. Now we saw how we can deploy an applications, right, using Ansible.